What up, G-Life? This is your boy MC Shadow back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's absolutely free. That is how you help my channel get into the algorithm. Highly appreciate if you go ahead and do that. Now, what I wanted to get into is something I was asked on my last live that I did, right? I was asked by, West Coast Graffiti, go, check out his channel. Homie has good topics. He asked me, what are my thoughts on podcasters, right? And I said, oh no, reaction channels, right? And I said that, yeah, that they're good stuff, right? I think that they're necessary in order to create buzz, revenue, and bring in a new, flood of audience to your channel, right? It's a good advertising and good, publicity and all that, right? So, I actually happen to like reaction channels, right? I don't see nothing wrong with it, right? Now, the one thing that I do, see, I guess an issue, right, when it comes to stuff like that, is when people try to spin their own narratives, right? When people try to twist people's words up, right? Or, misconstrue what they're trying to say. Like, for example, there was, I was asked about if I watched the Lefty gunplay interview with Mr. Criminal, right? And then I seen a bunch of, different channels, speaking about it, right? But, they were spinning some kind of narrative, right? Like one said that Lefty Gunplay, supports SPM and he, and stuff like that. But then I seen one that says that he says fuck, SPM and Dope House, and then I seen another one that said that he'll work with SPM. Then another person said that he would never work with SPM. So it's like, I was like, this is before I had even watched the interview, right? And I'm just like what the hell's going on right here, right? But it's people like spinning their own narratives right out there. And these are from channels that I never even heard of, right? Like these are, I guess, newer channels coming up, right? That were just popping out into my feed, right? I had never even seen these channels before. Like hood gangbanging news or some shit like that, right? And there was another one that was called, I think, Brown Cipher or something like that. But I was like, okay. Anywho, so, I checked it out, right? And then, I was getting asked, several individuals, what are my thoughts on the actual interview, right? Like, what are my thoughts on, what he said about SPM, right? Like about, what's wrong with him rapping over his beats, right? And like I said, there's homies out there that are going to see it differently, right? Like everyone's going to have their own opinions on what they think, excuse me, what they think is, it's like appropriate, right? Or what they believe, right? Like, homie, sees nothing wrong with spitting on the beat, and then some homies see that, nah, I would never rap on the beat like that. You get what I'm saying? But difference of opinions, right? Not all homies agree in, their overall, opinions on things, right? Because there's no universal rule for that kind of stuff, right? So for people to try to be mandating stuff, homie's gonna feel how he feels, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? So about the whole rapping part, well, yeah, if that's how homie feels, he's entitled to feel like that, you know what I mean? Well, yeah, it's not like he's rapping with the individual, right? It's kind of like saying that people were dissing Mr. Capone, right? Because of that one thing that had came out with a CD where supposedly he had worked on a CD with SPM or something like that, right? And people made a fiasco over it, right? But then people, the same very exact individual support Lil Rob, but Lil Rob did a song with SPM. You know what I mean? If you look up, SPM featuring Lil Rob, Making You Sweat, they work together on a rola. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, bro, it's like people pick and choose, who they want to mess with or for what reason or what they would do, why. Because that's a real rola. I'm not making that up. You guys could look it up. You know what I'm saying? But people pick and choose. But like I said, homies see it differently, right? So, homie's entitled to feel how he feels, right? It's like he said, it's not like he's working with the individual. And like he said, he wants to see the paperwork, so... Because that's how homies, that's how real homies carry themselves, bro. They won't speak unless they actually see black and white themselves, right? Because a lot of homies weren't aware or aren't aware and stuff like that, right? So difference in opinions, right? And then for the whole, who's the king of Chicano rap? In my personal opinion, everyone's going to have their different pick on who they think is the king of Chicano rap. Like, I feel like there is no king of Chicano rap because everyone's going to have, whoever they think it is, Kid Frost, Little Rob, Mr. Criminal, Mr. Shadow, everyone's going to have different picks. That's why I think that there is no king of Chicano rap, because everyone's going to have different opinions on who they consider the king of Chicano rap. And that's perfectly fine. You're entitled to see and think of whoever you want to pick as your king of Chicano rap, right? So, he has confidence, you know what I mean? And he's out there doing it, bro. And I mean, people can't hate on that, right? You may not like his opinion, you may not like his get down, but at the end of the day, he's entitled to get down like that. He's entitled to his opinions. Can't nobody be mad at that. I mean, at least he's letting straight up forward, and instead of trying to lie to you, instead of telling the audience what he thinks they want to hear, he's telling you how he is and how he carries himself. Can't nobody be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, people always come on the internet to try to dictate and force people like, don't mess with this person, don't whatever. People are going to mess and do and fuck with whoever they want and choose to, right? Like if I see things a certain way, I'm not going to enforce my ways on other people. I'm going to let people choose and pick for themselves and see things how they want to see them. Who am I to tell people how they should live or who they should hear or what they should watch? Nobody, bro. Everyone's entitled to live and choose and pick whoever they choose and do what they want to do. Yeah, I can only worry about me and what I got going on. If it's against my morals and against my beliefs, then I don't fuck with it. But if other people want to fuck with it, hey, a toda madre, homie. I can only control how I view things and what I do. I don't worry about other people and how they live and what they do. You know what I mean? But overall, it was a good interview. People should go check it out. You know what I mean? I know there was a gang of people on there, watching it. People are interested in what he's got to say. You know what I mean? He's popping right now, so we'll see. His music and what the future has in store for Camarada. But yeah, overall, that's just my personal opinion on the whole situation. Right, on the whole narratives being spun, it's better to go and actually review it yourself instead of letting your thoughts and mind be persuaded another way, right? Because sometimes people want to spin narratives, and it's not cool when people do that, like, because that's a form of lying. You know what I mean? Like, you should just be straight up with your people instead of trying to lie and manipulate. Because lying and manipulation is not reacting. You know what I mean? That's the opposite, right? When you're reacting, you're reacting to something for how it is, not you now twisting up the words and moving stuff around to match your narratives, because that's not reacting to it. That's, if anything, that's reacting to your point of view, not to the actual content. So, people just got to keep it 100. But I'm just saying, that's my opinion. Shut up.